First of all, I want to thank you all for coming out. I really do appreciate getting the chance to speak in front of all of you. The one thing I'd say is I believe I deserve your vote over anybody else on this stage. We are all great people on this stage, but I believe I deserve your vote more than anybody else because, number one, I'm the only candidate, not only on the Republican side, but on the Democrat side, that has explicitly laid out a platform that I'm running on. Number two, explicitly laid out on a website with facts and everything. Number two, I was born and raised in this district, and I challenge anybody who doesn't live in this district on why they're running in this district. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming out today and sitting through all of us, and so we really appreciate it. The most important thing is we need to protect this seat. It is highly targeted by the Democrats. We need to get the right conservative candidate through the primary. I am that conservative candidate. I am that conservative candidate we need in Congress. As a nurse, I care for you, and I will heal the brokenness in Washington, D.C. I will be your voice in the 5th District. I will fiercely protect your interest and honor and serve you in the 5th District. I'd like to bring the power back to the people. Go to my website, bethforindiana.com, and look at my issues page. I'd also encourage you to contact me. I'd love to meet with you one-on-one, and we can talk further about what's important to you. As a nurse, people like to open up to me and talk about their issues and what's bothering them, and I truly love to meet the people in the district. I want to be accessible. Thank you, and happy holidays. Woo!
Well, thank you for being here today. It's been a real honor to be here. I grew up in. Batteries are getting low, I've been told. Okay. I grew up in the district, played ball in the district, picked beans, detasseled corn in the district, and been all over the district and live back here now after my training in medicine. It's a wonderful place to live. Hoosiers, particularly in the 5th District, as I mentioned earlier, known for being compassionate and giving to others. I often describe myself as the poster boy for compassionate conservatism, but I also agree with Charles Krauthammer that constitutional conservatism is what we need. And in fact, it is not a spiritual bend that I see in other countries where people get their rights taken away because the government tells them this is what you are to be providing your allegiance to, which is typically love of just country and not to be giving to your family. So once again, I think we need to get back to family, church, and community and the great things that we can do, and that allowing everyone, the unborn through those who should not be euthanized in our system, to be great at what they can and allow them to show what their potential is. I think that what we have going here, and again, great group of people here, great representation in Washington, and I think that we have to get back to the defense of the Constitution, that those first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights, to make sure that everyone that's born into this country or immigrates to this country does have the freedom, the prosperity, and the potential to enjoy this life.
So thank you so much for inviting us. This has been a great event. You've heard a lot of great responses. The reason why I believe I will be the best candidate and the best person to represent the 5th District is because who is fighting for your grandkids? Who's fighting for your kids? Who is teaching them that our founding fathers actually were led by the scriptures to create a constitutional republic, and they based that off the truth that we are endowed with these rights given to us not by the government, but by a creator. And by the way, capital C, creator, that means it's specifically referring to somebody, and that somebody is Jesus Christ. And that is the writings of our founding fathers. But we can't go into public schools, we can't go into the public square anymore, and we can't say that. I will be that person that gets into schools. I will be that person that stands up in the public square and says, listen, you all have freedom given to you by your Creator. And the Constitution protects that freedom. And if we don't win the hearts and the minds of the next generation, it doesn't matter if we win the next election. Because in 30 years from now, this is going to look different. 30 years from now, the Republican establishment looks more like the 1995 Democrats. So in 30 years, are we going to say the Republican establishment looks like the 2019 Democrats? We need to turn the tide back. And we need to fight for true constitutional conservative values. And I'm super excited and ready to answer that call.
My name's Andrew Bales. I'm running for Congress in the 5th District. It's where I live. I've lived in Madison County for part of my life. I've lived in Indianapolis for part of my life. And I've been away in other countries, in other states. Hoosiers are the best. There's no doubt about it. I love Indiana. I would come back here no matter where I went in the world. I would always come back here. I believe in conservative values. I'm a nobody. I don't have political experience. I'm an average, everyday citizen who's fed up with the way our country is going. I taught for 15 years in public education. I've worked in factories. I've been unemployed. And I've been well off. And everywhere in between. And so I know those are the people of Indiana. Those are the people that I hope to represent. And I hope you'll vote for me. Thank you.
So to close, I'm reminded of a line from West Point's Cadet Prayer. And it says, make us choose the harder right rather than the easier wrong. And I think that's part of the problem. In Washington, we need principled leaders who are willing to make the tough decisions. We need people who are willing to defend the Constitution, who are willing to pay down the debt, who are willing to honor our veterans, who are willing to support the military. We need to break the stranglehold that career politicians have on Washington. Now, Donald Trump's been doing a great job, but he needs some help. And if I go to Washington, I promise I'll do exactly that. I'll get the job done and come home. That's what I did in Korea. That's what I did when I was in Iraq. And that's what I'll do in Congress. So I would invite everyone to visit my website, www.kenabernathy.com. Follow us on social media. In conclusion, I'd just like to thank everyone who put this forum on. Thank you for all your hard work. And also, for anyone who has, I'm humbled to be here with this group of individuals. I truly am. And so, regardless of what you read in the paper, for anyone who talks about the issues with the Republican Party in the 5th District, take a look. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oliver Wise. I'm the campaign manager for Kelly Mitchell. Kelly asked me to apologize to everyone that she was unable to be here today. That's due to a long-standing scheduling conflict. But she also asked me to express to you that she is more than willing and committed to sitting down with any group or any person who wants to have a discussion about how to move this country and how to move Indiana's 5th Congressional District forward. For those of you who don't know, Kelly serves as Indiana's Treasurer of State and was just recently elected as National Chair of the State Financial Officers Foundation. This organization advocates on the federal level for responsible fiscal policy. I think it's important to mention that the motto of the SFOF is look to the states, and they really put a strong emphasis on states' rights. And I think it's important to talk about what Kelly has done while she's been treasurer. Kelly's helped secure Indiana's $2 billion budget and secure a AAA credit rating. Kelly's launched Indiana's ABLE program, a savings program for disabled Hoosiers. Kelly's modernized Indiana's 911 system, helping keep our families safe. She's made College Choice 529 programs accessible to more Hoosiers. If she's elected to Congress, this is what she wants to do. She wants to keep America safe. As a civilian graduate with a master's degree in strategic studies from the U.S. Army War College, Kelly knows firsthand that there are emerging and real threats all over the world today, and that we need to meet those threats where they are to make sure that they don't come to our shores. She wants to focus on fiscal responsibility, which she has a long track record of. She wants to reform healthcare with a patient-centered approach, not some government bureaucrat in Washington telling us what's best for us. We need to talk to patients and doctors. She wants to protect life. She wants to defend the Second Amendment, and she will prioritize those constituent services and lead with honor and integrity. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. I'll be around if you have any questions at all.
Okay, it's time to vote, and I've been suggested while they're tallying the votes that I ask these remaining questions, and if the candidates are willing to do that, then you'll hear the rest of the questions. We had 5 more, and we could cover those while they're tallying the votes, if you don't mind.